Hello and welcome back to another Life's Biggest Questions. I'm Charlotte Dobre, and today we're going to examine the question, what if Donald Trump were president during the Civil War? I know this topic seems far out of left field, but consider it a response to a famous question asked by Donald Trump. In an interview, Donald Trump said, "Why did America's Civil War happen? Why could that one not have been worked out?" In doing this, he questioned why the issues that caused the Civil War couldn't have been settled to prevent the war. The American Civil War followed the succession of 11 southern states from the Union and caused the death of more than 600,000 Americans. In saying that he doesn't understand why the causes of the Civil War couldn't have been worked out, perhaps one can assume that if Donald Trump were president during the Civil War, he would have done what he could have to prevent it from happening in the first place. We know that Donald Trump is a nationalist. He would not have allowed the United States to break apart in the way that it did. So then, what caused the Civil War? What would have had to have been negotiated in order to stop it from happening? According to Eric Foner, a Columbia University history professor and a leading expert on the Civil War, slavery was the root cause of the Civil War. It was not the only cause, but it was the underlying cause. The war stemmed from conflicts about the issue of slavery, but also whether the Union or states themselves held more power. In fact, there were some negotiations taking place between the North and the South, but when Abraham Lincoln won the election in 1860 without carrying a single Southern state, Southern leaders believed their fundamental rights were being taken away. The South produced cotton, harvested by black slaves. The cotton industry was the backbone of the Confederate States. Slaves allowed for virtually free labor, while the plantation owners profited off the cotton sales. Being the businessman Donald Trump is, perhaps he would have done what he could to negotiate with the Southern states in an effort to preserve the economy of the South. Both the South and the North relied on slave trade cotton. Donald Trump would have negotiated terms to possibly allow for the cotton industry to continue as it did, perhaps with some regulation, but not likely. Donald Trump and his staff have cited President Andrew Jackson as a role model on many occasions. He suggested that if Andrew Jackson had been president at the time of the war, the Civil War would not have happened. Trump stated, "Andrew Jackson was really angry that he saw what was happening with regard to the Civil War. There is no reason for this." End quote. Andrew Jackson died 16 years before the Civil War, but the underlying conflicts of the Civil War were decades in the making. Donald Trump revisited the statement he made, saying, "President Andrew Jackson, who died 16 years before the war, saw it coming and was angry, would never have let it happen." Andrew Jackson was a slave-holding plantation owner, but some historians do credit him with preserving the Union when South Carolina threatened to secede in the 1830s. I want to be clear in saying that just because Donald Trump would have probably allowed for slavery to continue, that doesn't mean he's pro-slavery. Donald Trump is pro-economy, and at the time of the Civil War, slavery was an important aspect of the American economy. If Donald Trump were president during the time of the Civil War, and he sought to negotiate to prevent it from happening, slavery might not have been abolished until later in history. It would have been abolished regardless. America was already decades behind the rest of the Western world, and it was only a matter of time before slavery ceased to exist. Right now, America is the most divided it's been since the Civil War. Though it is not a division rooted in slavery, it is a division of ideologies. It is a fear among many that this deep divide could cause yet another civil war, and Donald Trump would in fact be the acting president during it. So what if there's another civil war? Well, perhaps that's a topic for another Life's Biggest Questions. I'm Charlotte Dobre. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments section down below what topics you would like to see next.